Welcome to the Filling the Gap Together podcast.
We are your hosts, Josh
and Krista. Hey friends, I'm Krista with Filling the Gap Together, and today we have special guest Shae. I'm super excited for her to share her story. I found her on TikTok, as some of you might also have seen her on TikTok, but I've enjoyed watching her journey, and I can't wait for her to share it with all of you so you can glean from her life journey.
Hi, thank you so much for having me. I'm so happy to be here.
So tell us a little bit about yourself. Obviously, I mentioned that you're on TikTok. How did you get started on TikTok? We'll start there, I guess.
Yeah, that's a great place to start. I think I was never searching for this to kind of happen. I really just, I was a substitute teacher for a while, and the middle schoolers were making fun of me one day because I didn't know what TikTok was. And I had no idea. And I thought it was like a dancing place where people go and dance, and I was like, that's not my thing. And then I kind of started getting some videos sent to me from other people, and I was like, that's kind of interesting. And then I kind of realized that I could make videos with photos and things, and I'm really interested in doing that. I love like taking photos and videos and documenting my life and sharing it. So I started doing that just for fun for myself, and I had a private account, and it was really just for a personal hobby. And then I made a couple of videos that just kind of went a little bit viral. They had maybe 20,000 something views, and I was like, this is crazy. That was about a brownie. It was like my first one was about a brownie that I ate. And I was like, that's really cool. So I just kind of kept going and just sharing my life, and people seem to be really interested in my life. It's a little non-conventional and different, and so people like to learn about that, and I like to teach them.
Awesome. So I followed you because of you being a foster parent, as I'm a foster parent. And so I wanted to get on there and see, what other foster parents are doing and just come alongside. And it definitely feels like a family out there, like we have something so big in common that it feels like when we're watching each other that we're actually friends, right? So how did you get started in foster care? What made you decide to say yes? As many people are interested in it, as we both know, but they say, I couldn't do that. I couldn't have them ripped away from me. I couldn't handle all that. How do you do it? What made you decide to say yes?
Yeah, I think everyone has some sort of point in their life where they're like, this is now what I know I'm supposed to do.
Yeah.
And I was always interested in foster care. I had no tie to it in my personal life growing up or anything like that. My husband didn't either. And when we started dating, we both just kind of had this conversation one night where we said, I'd be really interested in being a foster parent someday or adopting someday. And it was kind of unusual that we both felt that way. And then we got married, and we decided, let's have our own children first and then be foster parents as well. And God was like, no, that's not how this is going to go for you. So he had a better plan for us. Little did we know it. So we decided to wait, and that ended up not working out. We weren't able to have a child. We lost a child through an ectopic pregnancy, which I share a lot about infertility and my journey with that. Thank you.
Yeah.
I really am trying to be transparent about all aspects of my life, even the hard things. So I do talk about that a lot. And that kind of led us to become foster parents earlier than we were expecting to. And so we started fostering, and we right away were placed with two kiddos that they wanted us to adopt. And they said that was going to be kind of a quick thing. Well, 2.5 years later, they were officially ours. So it was a long process. And we maybe haven't had as many children come in and out of our home because we were having that adoption happening. And so we weren't able to take other children as they don't allow that in my state.
Oh, okay.
But we did do respite care throughout that time for a variety of different kids and ages and things. And so that's taught us a lot as well. And so we just kind of jumped in, and now here we are. We have our own baby. We adopted our two kiddos last January. So we have 3 kids. And we're still foster parents, and we're excited for our house to be built so that we can have more placements too.
Yeah. So are you waiting then to take more placements until you get into your new home?
Yeah, right now. So we sold our house last summer and we had plenty of space there, but we decided to sell that and we're staying in my parents' extra living space while our house is being built just across the street. So we get to watch the progress of things, but they poured concrete and everything in the house. It's a manufactured home, which is the best way that we could get the biggest bang for our buck when it comes to
Okay.
space. And so we feel really called, like we wanted to build a home, but God was like, save that money, buy a bigger home that's manufactured so you can have more kids in your home. And so we feel like we're called to do that.
That's
So
amazing.
our house should be delivered here this in September. And then we'll probably be able to live there in October. So
Wow.
we're licensed and everything, and we'll start out with respite again to dip our toes in and make sure our kids are comfortable with that because they might have a lot of feelings with having kids come and
Yeah.
go and having
Yeah.
been in foster care themselves. So that's the plan. Yeah.
That's incredible. I've been watching along the journey on your page and seeing that. I love to watch when you guys go on your property and it's so beautiful out there.
Thank you. We love going over there. It's been so hot lately, so we don't do it a ton, but we love going on hikes up there and just going and sitting and just like imagining what it will be like to live there. So all the like just this morning, my daughter was like, I can't wait to have my own room. And I was like, yeah, me too.
Yeah, for real.
Mhm.
So you adopted children through foster care. You had a baby during that whole process. Talk to us about that because you are experiencing your rainbow baby, such an
Yeah.
incredible, amazing gift in the middle of walking through foster care and all of its trials, because foster care is not easy. And the length of time that you were going through this journey in order to get to the adoption, um, how did you handle all of the challenges within all of that?
Yeah, it was a lot happening at once. So it was very overwhelming. I think we had sort of given up hope about having our own children. And at that point, I had really become content with the fact that this is my story and my life's going to be a little bit different than I expected. And my journey to motherhood will be different, and that's okay. And I had really come to accept that and be content with that. And then, kind of right when I felt that contentness, was when I found out I was pregnant. And we were deep in the process of adoption. Our adoption process was not swift or smooth, to say the least. It wasn't just we go to court, they say we can adopt, it's done. It was a lot of appeals and extra court dates and things like that.
Mm.
And so it did take a while to get to that point. And so I was pregnant throughout that entire time. And then we thought we would adopt them before the baby was born, but it didn't quite work out that way. So our baby, rainbow baby, came to us in October. And then we adopted our older two in January, just 3 months later. So we
Wow.
officially went from 0 to 3 children in 3 months, is what's
Yeah,
fun to say.
that's a lot.
For me.
And then,
Yeah.
yeah, that's amazing. So for everyone who was listening just now, it's Hey, it's Shae. So are there any commas, any periods or anything, or just straight Hey, it's Shae?
Yeah, it's Hey with 3 Y's and then period, it's no comma, just ITS, and then another period, Shae, SHAE.
Awesome. I'm so glad that you shared that with us so everybody can follow along in your journey. And I'm so glad you were here. Is there anything else that we didn't talk about that you would love to share with everyone?
I think we really covered almost all the things that I think are beneficial for people to know. I think if people are listening to this, they're already doing a great job at doing what they can, right, to build a community, because that's
Yeah.
what you're doing here with bridging the gap together. And so
Yes.
if they're here, they're already doing a great first step at how can I, and maybe they're not even foster parents yet, right? And they're listening to this and they're trying to build up their portfolio and the things that they know and understand so that when they're ready, they're really ready. And so I just think it's great that if anyone's listening to this from either of those camps, it's so beneficial and it's such a great first step. And I'm proud of all the people that are doing that.
Yeah, same. We have such a passion for this, just like you were saying, you have such a passion for foster care. And although our jobs are different, my degree from college was radio TV broadcasting. And so this is right up my alley, right? Like to get on here and do a podcast and you know, we started a TikTok as well, but kind of slow going because we've had so many kids in our home, like 9 and 10 kids. And it's so hard to find the time to do it consistently and properly. Right. So I've just dabbled in it a little bit. Right. But I'm trying to be more consistent and get in there. But that's what I want to do also, is just share my passion with the world. So
Yeah.
thank you
It's
again for
amazing.
being here. And we're on the
Thank
same
you.
team.
Absolutely. I'm happy to be a part of the team, a part of the community that you're building. And I'm so grateful that there are people like you doing this.
Thank you. Thank you for choosing to be here with us today.
For more, you can visit us at our website or find us on social media.